Yeah? Did I not have the best warm-up that anyone could possibly have? Very, very hot. So, I don't know if you realize, but how many people were here last year? Okay, so do you remember, yell out, do you remember what I talked about last year? Okay. 30 days. Yeah, 30 days. So I'm going to talk about health collective conscious. So much better than the other thing, right? I know. Yeah, I know that sex is a good one. I know that sex is important. But there are a lot of people who took the sex challenge. You just sleep with your partner for 30 days straight, okay? So I had to come up with something really good this year, something that would top 30 days of sex. Took a lot of thinking. How many people are excited? I feel like I'm going to top it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm at Liz Nead. I am also known as just Liz Nead without the at. I'm a speaker. I'm a life and business coach. I have a television show. That's all you need to know about that. Now, last year, my life was transformed because I went to the 140 in Des Moines. And I talked about the 30 days of sex. And I met Jeff. And Jeff said, you have to come out to New York. And I thought, I want my life to change. I want to go out to New York, and I want to share what I'm all about, and I want to help people, and this is going to transform my life. And it was pretty amazing. I talked about sex. Do I have your attention? How'd that go? It was good. People loved it. So I was standing up on stage, and it was unbelievable. You laughed when you were supposed to laugh. You nodded. People had tears in their eyes. They applauded Major Nead for what he did. Major Nead is my husband. We have to give him a moment of silence, of credit. Yes. It was pretty fantastic. I felt athletic, gorgeous, interesting, funny, pretty much 140 perfect. Do you know what I'm saying? 140 perfect? It was awesome. So I went back home and I did what any person in social media would do, and I blogged about it, right? I wanted to blog about it, but I had to find a picture of myself. And I found this picture of myself. This was the picture I had. And I'm looking at myself and thinking, that's not what I looked like in my head. I was slouched over like this. I had this like weird thing going on. Look at that face. My hair was all frizzy. I just didn't look good. And I thought, okay, that's it. I had this fantastic experience. I don't like what I look like. And I was actually in pretty good shape. I could run 45 minutes without a problem. But I felt like I needed some new tricks. And so I decided that I was going to change my life. I have stretch marks. Yeah, I have stretch marks. Really bad stretch marks. These are the culprits. Their names are Andrew and Jordan. They are now 17 years old. And when they came into this world, well, before they came into this world, they sat in my stomach and they grew. They grew out like this so that you didn't know I was pregnant if you saw me from behind. I was like one of those long presents that was super skinny. I got these really crazy stretch marks. So this is what my stomach sort of looks like. It looks like a paper bag that's been crumpled up and then spread back out again. And no one believes it. But every time I show people my stomach, they're like, it can't be that bad. I know what they're looking at. They're looking at the guns. They think, how bad could it be? And then they do this. Oh, you had twins. And they immediately start consoling me so that I know that it isn't good. All right, so I decided I was going to get myself in shape. I was going to do this because I was going to come back the following year. I didn't know it was going to be about health and wellness, but I'm like, I'm going back to the 140, and I'm going to look like an Amazon, and I'm going to be amazing. And I'm not going to have any slouchy schmouchy over here hanging over and look like this. I'm going to stand like this, and it's going to look good. And afterwards, when I blog, I won't be able to find a bad picture of me. It's just going to be amazing. So I started to hit it hard. But I was talking to my mom about it, and I said, I'm going to get abs. I need abs. Look at this picture. And you know what she said to me? She said, our family doesn't get abs. No, doesn't get abs. Do you know what I'm talking about? I have a long line of people that all are apples. Do you know what an apple is? How many people are apples? Now, some of you are pears. How many people are pears? Yes. See? So apparently, I come from a long line of apples, and my mom wanted to let me down easy and say, listen, crunch away, sister. You're not going to get any abdominals. But I was looking at this picture, which I used last year. My grandfather's in this picture. My father's in this picture. It was taken when my family was in India. And over on the left is this guy. Yeah, this is my grandfather. This is what I come from. And I took a close look at his abs. And I don't see no apple. Did you? Do you see an apple there? That doesn't look like any apple I want to take a bite out of. And I thought, that's only a couple generations. And now suddenly we're apples. And I started to realize that what we say to each other and how we share who we are affects us. Because if I believed my mom, then I wouldn't bother doing any ab work, would I? Because I would think, well, who cares? It's not going to happen, is it? So why bother? All right. So I went after it. Those are both me. I'm sitting on my head. That's not really sitting on your head, is it? Standing on your head. I don't want to sit on my head. That's a whole other presentation for next year. I'm doing crunches. I'm working it out. And something changed. I started to realize that my body wasn't for showing everybody something. It wasn't about coming back to the 140 and having a better picture. Because health is really an act of love. I started to fall in love with myself, not in a self-absorbed way, but in an act of kindness way. Like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to eat something good because that's a nice thing to do for myself. And I'm going to work out because I love myself enough to get up and work out. I started seeing these muscles pop out. I could jump really far. I started to have an inner athlete. In the middle of the night, a couple days ago, I was fast asleep, and my husband was touching me on my leg. And in the middle, I was dead asleep. I don't remember this. I said to him, "Did you hurt yourself? Careful, it's rock hard." Because I had started to love my body, even in a subconscious way. Instead of rolling away and going, "Oh, don't poke the dough, girl," I was like, "Careful, legs of steel." And I don't even remember it. And he was laughing at me. I was like, who knew? So I started to realize that health is an act of love. It is not a social strategy. It's not about fitting into that swimsuit. It's not about losing weight before the 140 or before that you have to fit into that dress. It's not about, I want someone to love me, so I'm going to look a certain way. Health, long-term health, is about owning what you have. Now, I have a reason for why this is important to me. And that is because we share and promote collective conscious, and we believe things. How many people know about the Freshman 15? Everybody gains weight because we agree that that's what's going to happen. Maybe you have the big bum. How many people have a family of big bums? Just see, and so there's no point. People who are smart don't work out. People who work out are self-absorbed. I could go on and on. But I want to make sure that I pass on something, because I want this, which is my stomach, that is my stomach, and it has stretch marks, and it is pretty ugly. But I love it, because it is not about social strategy. And because I have a collective conscious that I want to pass on to you, because these are my children, and I want them to understand that health is about love. And so the only way to do that is to model it, because they're going to believe whatever it is that I tell them. So as an act of love, I'm going to have someone come over here. Come on over. Drum roll, one of you is going to have to unzip my dress. Thank you. Let's give him a round of applause. Here we go. Thank you very much. I think I can get it off this way. Hold on. Just a minute. I am going to show you my stretch marks, and I'm going to own it. Just a minute. Okay. Take that dress off. All right. These are my stretch marks. Ta-da! Okay. So how many people have flabby arms? Stand up. Big buns. I want you to stand up right now. Only one person has big buns and one flabby arms. Big thighs? Who's got big thighs? Scrawny legs. Yes. No ankles. A big head. A small head. What's wrong with you? Why haven't you stood up? So here's what I want. I want you to agree right now, the 140, that we are going to have the collective conscious that health is an act of love and not a social strategy. Can we agree to that? Okay, and so we'll see what happens. We're going to run around the building right after this. My name is Liz Nead. This is how you find me, and on needinspiration.com, there's more information for you. There's a 140 tab just for you. Thank you so much.